Hello students, welcome to Narayana IAS live session. Students, in this live session, we shall be discussing a very important article that has appeared in the Hindu paper. The title of the topic is 9 Internal Security Challenges. Now students, this topic has been crafted by an ex-DGP, Prakash Singh, one of the finest authors to write about the internal security or the security challenges of a country. So let us try to understand what exactly challenges the author is trying to portray or discuss, and how can we overcome these challenges. Now, in this article, we shall be focusing on understanding the internal security challenges. And you can map this topic under GS paper 3, that is internal security. The question is, why do we understand such topic? Students, because UPSC has this tendency to ask questions related to current affairs or the ongoing events that we read in the newspaper. So here a question was asked in the year 2013, and the question was, how far are India's internal security challenges linked with border management? Right, particularly in view of the long porous border that India has with our neighboring countries like Pakistan, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Nepal, Bhutan, etc. For that, we need to understand the concept of internal security. Let's try to understand the context of the article. The context of the article is that the author, as I discussed, is trying to highlight the internal security challenges and how it is important for India to develop or have a well orchestrated plan, a well planned strategy to overcome the issues. Why? Students, we all know that India's image internationally is growing. Be it India's economy, international prestige, image is growing. Now, to complement India's international status, we need to also have internal cohesion, that is internal stability. For the very same, it is very important that we understand the internal security challenges that a country might have to encounter or will encounter in the years to come, right? So this is the context. So we'll understand 9 internal security challenges and the solution. The first challenge is with respect to internal security doctrine. The challenge or the issue is that India does not have a comprehensive national security doctrine to address both the internal as well as the external security or challenges. What is national security doctrine? It is nothing but a comprehensive framework, or it is somewhat like a law. It is a comprehensive framework that outlines a country's strategic response or approach to the internal security challenges. So whenever any challenge or whenever any internal security problem arises, how would India deal with it is something that should be mentioned in the national security doctrine. We do not have a comprehensive framework. Now, when we develop a national security doctrine, that would entail key components, like we would focus on the strategic objective of the doctrine. Then we shall assess the threat that India is facing. Then we would work on the policy framework, the policies, we would make policies or have policies to deal with the challenges. Then we would allocate the resources, we would optimally use the resources. So all these key components will be a part of the national security doctrine. And that's the reason to overcome this challenge, we need to ensure that we develop a comprehensive national security doctrine, so that through this doctrine we can take care of or overcome the internal as well as the external security challenge. This is the first challenge. The second challenge is with respect to internal security ministry. Now the issue is that when it comes to internal security, we all know that the Ministry of Home Affairs they look after the internal security challenges. But students, the Ministry of Home Affairs is already overburdened with a lot of work. For example, be it the border management, be the coordination between the different state polices, be it the challenges with respect to central armed police forces, or be it the implementation of NRC or National Population Register, right? Or be it handling a specific projects like UIDAI. So the Ministry of Home Affairs, students, is overburdened with a lot of work, and that's the reason this is one of the biggest problem that we are facing. And that's the reason the author of the article is trying to suggest that we need to have a separate internal security ministry, or we can have a junior ministry and give that minister an independent charge that will look after the internal security challenges. This is the second challenge and the solution. The third is with respect to Jammu and Kashmir. Third challenge. No doubt, the terrorist attacks in Jammu and Kashmir has abated, has decreased. But the problem of terrorism in Jammu and Kashmir still remains. It still persists, because of which the region is unstable. Now, stability in Jammu and Kashmir, students, is extremely crucial. Why? For national security or national integration. It is very, very important also to counter the Pakistan's deep state's objectives. Now, how do we overcome the challenge in Jammu and Kashmir? One, we have to increase our security, right? We have to focus on technologies. We have to incorporate technologies in our handling of the problem. Second, restore the statehood of Jammu and Kashmir. Third, conduct the elections, assembly elections in Jammu and Kashmir as soon as possible so as to stabilize the region. The point is, we have to win the people's hearts and minds to overcome the terrorism problem in Jammu and Kashmir. Right? So, again, as the late former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee had once mentioned that the solution to the Jammu and Kashmir problem can be solved by practicing or by implementing three key words. One is Kashmiriyat, for the people of Kashmir. Second is Jamhuriyat, that is democracy. And third is Insaniyat, for the people of the Jammu and Kashmir. So this is the third problem and the solution. Fourth is the Northeast. Now, students, ethnic conflicts in Northeast is one of the major issues in India's northeastern region. India's northeastern region is predominantly a tribal region. There are various ethnic tribes, ethnic communities, and these ethnic different communities, they keep on fighting against one another because of several demands that arises from the pre-independence days. So this is one ethnic conflict, as we recently got to see in the state of Manipur between the Meiteis and the Kukis. Then another problem is unfulfilled agreements. Now, students, the government of India keeps on signing or negotiating with the rebel groups and signs an agreement to temporarily halt fighting. But there is no outcome of such agreements. For example, let me give you an example. In the year 2015, the Nationalist Socialist Council of Nagaland, Isaac Muiwa, one of the rebel groups, had signed a suspension of operation agreement with the government of India in the year 2015. It's been 9 years, but there is absolutely no outcome of this agreement. That's the reason unfulfilled agreement is one of the other issues in Northeast. The other issues being illegal migration, drug trafficking, and arms smuggling. And so, to overcome the issues in Northeast, we have to make sure that peace and stability be restored in Northeast. And how do we do that? We have to have negotiations with all the rebel or extremist leaders and make sure that the legitimate demands of the people of Northeast are fulfilled, and at the same time, development is also extended to India's northeast so that people do not fall prey to extremism. This is the fourth challenge and the solution. Then the fifth problem is with respect to the problem of left-wing extremism or Naxalism. Again, the Naxalite incidents have decreased over a period of time, especially post 2000. But still, Naxalism is one of the major challenges that our country is facing. Now, students, one of the reasons why the Naxalism problem started in our country is the failure of implementation of land reforms. So, failure of implementation of land reforms is one of the reasons because of which the problem of Naxalism it expanded to different states, starting from the state of West Bengal, Naxalbari village, and then a red corridor. Now, red corridor is a region that signifies the Naxal dominated areas. Right. So, again, we have to address the legitimate grievances of the people. We have to understand the problems the tribals of our country are facing with respect to the recognition of land rights, right? At the same time, we have to sign ceasefire agreements with the hardcore Naxalite leaders, and we have to make sure that the genuine grievances of the people are fulfilled, and the extremist leaders or extremist Naxalites should be dealt with iron fist. But if you ensure that the development is extended to the tribal regions, we can ensure that the violence in the region can be curtailed. This is the fifth problem and the solution. The sixth is with respect to IB and CBI. Now, students, with respect to IB and CBI, both these institutions, it needs restructuring. At the same time, we have to strengthen these institutions. Now, IB students, IB does not enjoy a statutory status. And as IP does not enjoy statutory status, which means the powers and functions of the IB, right, or IB can be vulnerable to the political pressure. Right. So, again, having a statutory backing would ensure that the IB can function independently and without the pressure of the political masters. Same is the case with Central Bureau of Investigation. Now, the law through which CBI derives its power, that is the Delhi Special Police Act, has weakened, because of which CBI as a body is unable to function independently. The autonomy is missing, and that's the reason we have to make sure that these bodies are restructured and strengthened so that these institutions can work without the political pressure. This is the sixth challenge. The seventh is with respect to state police. Now, the hierarchy of the state police is inherited from the British, and that's the reason even to this day the state police functions more of a ruler's police, that is the political or the government's police, rather than people's police. This reason it is very important that in the state police reforms, drastic reforms should be undertaken so that the service of the police should be pro people. It should focus on public service rather than serving the political masters. The reform or the approach of the state police has to drastically change, for which reforms is necessary, imperative. The next is with respect to central armed police forces like the CISF, the Central Reserve Police Force, the ITBP, the BSF, the Sashastra Seema Bal. Now, when it comes to the central armed police forces, there are problems like unplanned expansion, second, inadequate training and internal friction. Now, we have to address these issues, for which the author of the article tries to suggest that the government of India should appoint a high-powered commission to resolve the problems that is afflicting the central armed police forces. And the last is technology. Now, students, we know that technology or India or the world has made significant strides in the technological development, be it artificial intelligence, be it machine learning, big data analytics. or let's say drones, sophisticated weapons, right? But somehow India is still underutilizing the technological advancements. And if we have to deal with the internal security challenges, then we have to ensure that we incorporate the technological equipments so as to counter the challenges effectively. This is the ninth and the last challenge that India will be facing in the years to come. So I hope students you understood all the 9 challenges and the solution. So whenever you get a question with respect to internal security, the question and answer is something that I have mentioned or explained in today's live session. And finally, we can state that a country's international strength is tied to the internal cohesion, which means again here we need to ensure that we develop a comprehensive framework, national security doctrine, so that we can counter the challenges in a far more effective manner. And for that, we have to ensure that India coordinates, or there is concerted effort from all levels, be it the government, be it the society, be it the state governments, and so that we can ensure that our security defense mechanism is as robust, as strong as possible, so that we can prevent any major challenges or any major terrorist attacks in our country. This is how we can effectively deal with the challenges. I hope students you have understood each and every dimension associated with the internal security challenges. That's it, students, from today's live session. If you have liked our live session, then please do like, share and support Narayana IAS. Thank you so much.